We have 3 accounts that we have took to over 1 million coins. 1 account we have took to 30 million coins. And because everyone says trading was finished, we decided to do it again and take this account from 2 coins to 400,000 coins on the way to 1 million coins again. So today I'm going to show you number 1, how to do it. Number 2, how to do it fast. And number 3, most importantly, how to do it easy without wasting loads of your time. So let's jump into it. And guys, if you want to use players like this and just need that little extra boost, then you can get your cheap, fast, and most importantly, safe FC26 coins at eldorado.gg. They have 24/7 support, a money-back guarantee, and you can use code JEAD at checkout to get another 5% off your order. Link is in the description. So no messing around. Boys and girls, I run all of my accounts in what I would call 4 segments until we hit 1 million coins, including this one that we got coin wiped on, but we're still on 11 million coins, the main account. And in fact, I'm going to show you this on the account we are currently trading on. So the 4 steps are the setup phase, the poverty phase, the experiment phase, and then number 4, the baller phase. In baller phase, we go well beyond 1 million coins, and you can pretty much buy any card in the game when we use the baller phase. But let's start with the setup phase, which is the easiest, but probably the most important. Now, to be honest, the setup phase is only really if you are below 50 or even 100,000 coins. If you are not, you probably don't need this, but it will give you some more coins in the bank. Number 1 of the setup phase, and what we did on this new account from 2 coins, is we went and done any SBC that give us tradable packs back. So we don't care about this 5 of 10 81 player pick, but we do care about the silver packs that, that is within it. And you might think, gee, these are silver packs. They give you like 3,000 or 4,000 coins to do both of them. They're repeatable times 3. You do all 3 of these, you get 6 silver packs. You get towards 10,000 coins. And if you're on a new account, 10,000 coins instantly, just for doing no work, is brilliant. How do you get the cards for this? What is a daily SBC grind right now? I'm going to put a video out about that on the channel if it's not out already. But the daily SBC grind, basically, you can go do the daily bronze upgrades, the daily rare golds, the daily silvers, all the dailies, and you'll be able to do those SBCs that I've just mentioned for free, and you'll be on 10,000 coins already. Then once you've got 10,000 coins, you go to the challenges section, and there will always be a marquee matchups SBC segment out. And as you can see on this new account, we've already done a segment of it. Basically, use the cards from that daily SBC grind to try and do most of this. And if you've not got it, just buy the players, right? Each segment for this SBC, if you use some of the players from your club, normally cost maximum like 3,000 or 4,000 coins. To spend 3,000 or 4,000 coins per segment, sell everything we get in these packs back. And normally, after doing that, you turn 10,000 coins, right? Spend a few of them on, these packs here. But selling everything, you honestly get like 20, 30, 40,000 coins. If you pack something decent, you can get 50, 60, or even 100,000 coins plus, right? But even if you pack nothing, you'll probably still have 20 or probably more likely 30 or 35,000 coins. And that could be done within the first like 10, 15 minutes of starting a new account. It is that broken. And a new part of the setup phase we have never had before. It is super duper easy on this game to get 100 tokens by playing objectives or anything, right? It's super easy to get some starter tokens. And say you already had some, or say you've just played the game a little bit, you're going to get some. If you get 100 tokens, you can't see this rate too much, but this seasonal token pack 2, as you can see with the little arrows, is a tradable pack. And from absolutely nothing on an account, getting 100 tokens is pretty easy. You get a tradable pack, bosh, you're onto a winner. You might pack a decent card. Even if you don't, it's a couple more 1,000 coins into the club. Or if you've got some decent tokens saved up, you could even spend it on this seasonal token store pack number 3 to get the tradable SBC rewards or the tradable token rewards. And you'll get, again, 10, 20, 30, 40,000 coins. Depends what you pack. But another easy way to get some early coins into the account and move on to stage 2, which will be the poverty phase. Just before we do that, there is one more step to the setup phase you can do. If you've done all of that and you still think you're not on too many coins, go to your transfer list, click the left stick down wherever you're playing, change this filter here by clicking the left stick down again, go to value high to low, click search. I have done it wrong, so I'm an absolute specimen. Try it again, Jead. So close, so close. High to low, and as you can see, I've already done this on my account, so I only have 1 tradable card in the entire club. But you guys might have some more. You might not even realize you've got some tradable cards. Only if you need the coins, right? Only if you need the coins. Sell what you've got tradable, and it'll give you some good starting coins to move on to stage number 2. Now, stage number 2 is called the poverty phase for good reason. As you can see from these golds here, this was part of the poverty phase, and we'll use this throughout. But we call it the poverty phase because we're not on a lot of coins, and when you're not on a lot of coins, you can't ask for a lot of coins. But don't worry, it goes very, very quick. Now, this is going to consist of 3 main things. Number 1, and the most brilliant broken method on any FIFA ever, and it just keeps working, and it'll never stop working until they remove the transfer market, is fodder bids. It's what we were doing there, but it is so, so broken, right? Let's say you're on 20,000 coins, 50,000 coins, 100,000 coins. You can do this method. All we're literally going to do is put gold rare in. We're going to put minimum price at 750. The reason we do that is to try and get rid of all the 77 rated cards, right? Playstyle top right here under the webcam. You can't really see this, but I'm flicking this to Playstyle Plus just under the webcam there. Just put it to Playstyle Plus only. Put maximum price to about 1.2. Put minimum buy now to just below 10,000 coins. And that is your filter. Maximum price there to 1.2. That is your filter. Now, when you press Y, it's going to bring up this absolute horror show where there's loads of different ratings, loads of different cards. It's a nightmare to look at. Basically, you need to go and check what sells, and that's the first step. Checking what sells, all it is go into Footbin, go to SBCs, and go to cheapest player by rating. You can do this on both the mobile and the desktop version. I obviously can't show you it on the mobile version, but it's there on both of them, right? Go to SBCs, cheapest player by rating, and we're going straight to 88, 89, because we're towards the end of the game, and all we want is a card worth, ideally, more than 1,000 coins. So right now, because 88s are not worth 1,000 coins, and they're not even worth 900 coins, probably going to stay clear of 88. However, 89s are worth 1.2 all the way up to like 1.6 thousand coins, and 90s like that Rodri are worth 1.7 thousand coins. So the cards that we're going to be looking at right now are 89 rated cards and 90 rated cards. So now that we know that 89s are about 1.5k, and we know that Rodri or 90s are about 2,000 coins plus, we know what we're going to bid on, right? So we can go to the next page, and all 89s that we see, because it's going to take a little bit of manual, like looking, using your eyes, a little bit of manual filtering. We're going to go try and find 89s and bid on them up to 1,000 coins. So see people are already bidding on this Pedri card, who I believe sells for a little bit more. Yeah, I think he's 1.8 thousand coins. Hence why people are bidding a little bit higher on Pedri. But we throw a bidding on Kane, we throw another bidding on Kane, and you'll see we'll win some of these cards, we won't win some of these cards. It's a bit of a trial and error, right? Go and see which cards are easy to win. Some of them will be like slightly easier than others because people are doing their own little filters. We're going to go bid on 89 rated all the way up to about 1.1 or 1.2 thousand coins. Basically, anything we can buy them for, that we can sell them for profit later. And given that they currently sell for 1.5 after EA tax, which is 5%, so 75 coins, we can probably bid up to 1.3, not 1.4 thousand coins like that person is bidding on Kimmich. So you can go and do this, go and bid on 50 different cards, and you can go and rebid on all these cards when you come back to the transfer list menu, and basically bid again all the way up to about 1.1, 1.2 thousand coins, given these cards are all selling for about 1.5 thousand coins. Now, the whole point of mass bidding is you do it en masse. It's mass bidding. You go and do this with 50 cards, not 4 cards, like I've got as an example here. The second most important tip is when you do this, if you really want to make coins on this game, do this Friday night, do this Saturday, and do this Sunday. Why is that? More people on the game. It's the weekend. Friday night is the promo night, so loads of people on the game. It's when we've got the most packs on the game, the most, cards on the market, basically the most activity on the game in general. You can do this one at a time on the game, and that is any Monday to Thursday, so not Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But Monday to Thursday, when we get big promo packs. So there'll be days where we get big promo packs, especially tradable promo packs, like a 600k pack, 500k pack, a tradable promo pack. If we do get one of those, then loads of cards come onto the market from that pack, and you can go and mass bid on fodder. I am doing this overnight on a Wednesday. So I win a single card. That's a miracle, right? It's just going to be so hard to win a card because there's so many people bidding on these with pretty much no, reason to have them on the market, right? There's no pack supply. Although I think someone did just win a Russo card there at 900 coins. Never mind. It is actually working. She sells for 1.7 thousand coins. That would have already been nearly 1,000 coins profit as I was sat yapping about when to buy these cards. So that is method number 1. You go and do that. You make 300 coins to 1,000 coins a card. You do that as much as physically possible. And you can imagine if you do this on a good day, how that can stack up quickly. The second one is using cards that everyone thinks don't work anymore because everyone just uses them to put on players in their team. We're going to use them to make coins. Chem styles, right? Anchors, shadows, hunters, hawks, engines, any chem style that sells, right? One of the best ones I have found is Anchor, but any chem style that has any value whatsoever, go and make sure it sells for something. So basically it sells for more than 200 coins, right? It actually has a value on the market. And as you can see, Anchors are selling for 1.5 thousand coins. None of them are getting past the 51st minute, which means they are definitely selling. They might even be selling for 1.6 thousand coins. They are. None of them are getting past the 25th minute, which means they are all selling at 1.6 thousand coins, which means we can buy anchors for about 1.3 thousand coins and below and make profit. There are, of course, 2 ways to do this. We can bid on anchors at 1.3 thousand coins. So we'll go and put a bid in there, a bid in there, a bid in there. Keep putting bids all the way up to as many as we can find. Once again, weekends, this will work so much better because, again, more people on the game. I can go and throw bids in on 50 different anchor cards. I'm going to bid all the way up to 1.3 thousand coins. Or you can do the other method, of course, which is sniping them. Now, sniping them, I don't really like sniping on this game. But chem styles actually do often get listed well below what they're worth on the market. Like, as you can see there, 950 coins. Buy that. We can instantly sell that on at 1.6. And to be up, there's another one there. There you go. Buy that 1.6. That's 1,000 coins profit. 1,000 coins profit. If we buy both of them, we didn't, but 1,500 coins profit so far. There's one there. That's 2,000 coins profit. And you see how you can easily do this, right? These stack up very, very fast. Yes, it is small profit per card, but you do it en masse with the fodder cards and the chemistry style cards, and very quickly, you make 50,000 coins, 100,000 coins. If you do it on weekends, it gets scary how many coins you make. You can make upwards of 500,000 coins on a Friday night if you just no-life it and spend hours on the game doing it. and we've already won 4 anchor cards there. I'm going to list 2 of them at 1.6, 2 of them at 1.5. A tip for all you guys that are a little bit newer, always stagger your listings, right? Never list all your cards at the same price, because then they're all next to each other on the market at the same price, and often people buy none of them. If you stagger your cards a little bit, they look a little bit different, right? 1.1, 5, 1.4, 1.6. They look a little bit different next to each other on the market. It makes one of them look cheap compared to the other two, and people often go and buy that card. It just helps you get some more sales. And even on the anchor bids, although we're not going to really go and try and sweat and bid these cards, but we already won one of them at 500 coins on bids. So as you can see there, both bids and snipes do work. The bid was a little bit cheaper, but on the snipes, we won more cards. So personal preference, but that is another fantastic method to make some quick coins. And the last method of the poverty tier is basically going to do the daily SBCs again. I'm not going to cover it because we covered it before in step 1, but when you're still not on a lot of coins, if you're on below 150 or 200,000 coins, doing things like marquee matchups and daily SBCs that every single day get another 10 to 20,000 coins is not underrated at all. It's still definitely worth the time. But yeah, we already covered that in step 1. So let's move on to step 3 when we start getting a lot more high budget. Stage 3 is what you see a lot of these cards here on the market. I've tried to save a lot of them so we could show you guys, but a lot of these cards here were bought in stage 3, what I would call the experimental method. Now, it's kind of the experimental method because you're starting to experiment with a little bit more expensive cards. But the biggest thing for stage 3 is you keep coins flowing. We want to get 1 million coins in 1 or 2 days. We don't want to get 1 million coins in 3 weeks from now when we don't care about it, right? So keep coins flowing. So we're going to jump into how we buy these cards using FUTGG and different things. But boys and girls, subscribe if trading videos are your thing or anything on this game about grinding, trading, anything, right? That's all the content we do. We're going to do it in for the rest of FC26 and of course, loads of it for FC27. So subscribe if you are new. I can't say that word. Subscribe. I can't say it. But we're going to jump into FUTGG and how I bought most of these cards. Now, you'd think I'm sponsored by FUTGG, and one day we well and truly might be, but probably not. However, it's just because they've got a brilliant tool called the Momentum Trends tool that I think is brilliant. And until a competitor like FUTBIN copies it or whatever, I'm going to use FUTGG. Now, Momentum Trends, you can use it on your phone as well, don't worry. You have to just go to the web version. So you can't use the FUTGG app. You've got to, type in Google FUTGG. Basically, the only reason we use this is on this 6-hour, 12-hour, and 24-hour graph, it just shows you cards that in the last 6 hours, the last 12 hours, last 24 hours, that are down the most in price. That is all it is doing, right? You see these percentages at the bottom? Minus 50%. It's showing that in the last 6 hours, Sam Kerr is down minus 50%. All that means is some of these cards on these pages are going to be fantastic to buy for when they go back up in price. That is it. Now, that's very, very simple. But of course, for a lot of you guys who have not done this before, or at least not done it too much, it's going to be an experiment. Do you see why we called it the experimental phase? I am so cringe. But on a serious, let's talk about it. So, how do we buy these cards? Well, the first thing is, we're only looking at cards that are out of packs. If you're buying cards in packs, they're probably moving up and down with pack supply, right? So, if you see any of the new cards in packs, we're not really touching those. Number 2, we're looking for cards that are usable. That can be for Evos, right? A really popular card for Evos. Or number 2, and even better, a card that even though they're really cheap, is still decent on the game. So as you've seen on my screen before, we had Tim Howard Heroes card. He's not the best goalkeeper on the game, but he's still a very decent goalkeeper that a lot of people use in their teams. And what you'll see here, a lot of these cards are just not either of those, right? You've got a card like, for example, we will use this Fishlock Time Warp card. Not a good card for Evos, not a very usable card. It'll just be a pain in the ass to actually sell that card and make some coins on it. So we avoid those types of cards. Now, all you're doing on here is putting the maximum price. See this maximum price filter in just below the webcam, right? We're putting a maximum price filter in to try and buy 1 to 3 cards on our budget. So, for example, I'm on 380,000 coins, so I can probably buy a card up to about 130,000 coins to buy a couple of these cards and spread my bets. If you put all your money into one card, you'll often just lose it because, but yeah, that card might go down in price. You might be new at this and you lose it. You're trying to spread your bets over a couple of different cards. So we put 130,000 coins in, and then all we're looking to do is pick a card like that Tim Howard who was there before that's actually usable on the game. And this is it, right? This is your, one little way to unlock making stupid amount of coins on any FIFA game ever, right? We're going to talk about it a little bit more in the next section, but mainly in this one. This is how we do it. So we start with the graph. All we're looking for, put it to a 3-day, a week. It doesn't matter, right? We're not pro traders here, like in real life. We're just trying to put it to anyone that we can see. I think 3 days is normally pretty good. And see, what is Tim Howard's low point on the graph and high point? His low point is about 30,000 coins and his high point is about 40,000 coins. Basically, we'll be looking to buy this Howard below 30,000 coins and, believe it or not, sell him for about 40,000 coins. Now, there's one big mistake people make, and that is not checking recent sales or sales history down here, right? It'll be a little bit different on mobile, but it should look relatively similar. All we're looking for is 2 things. Does the card sell often? Because if it doesn't sell often, if it sells once every 3 hours, we're just not going to be able to sell it. And does it sell for that high point? So as you can see, Tim Howard does sell for 40,000 coins. You can see it right there. He sold there for 42,000 coins, 40,000 coins. Great. And as you can see from the time, I forgot what time was called then. Jesus. As you can see from the time on the sales as well, he sells like 3, 4, 5 times a minute. He sells very, very often for a cheap card. What you'll notice a lot with cheap cards is some of them just don't sell. They don't sell at all because they're too cheap and crap that no one uses them anymore. So for example, if we go to Scream Svensson, right, we do the same thing again. And on his graph, he lows at about 15 and he highs at about 21, 22,000 coins. So right now he's 15. Looks like a good buy because we can sell him for 21 or 22,000 coins. But compared to Tim Howard, as you will see, this guy sells about once or twice an hour. So definitely not as good a buy as Tim Howard because you might really struggle to sell him because basically no one's buying him. You can flick through the pages at the bottom. I would go until the percentage starts to get to about 10%. Once it gets to about 10%, the cards are not really moving too much in price, right? But yeah, Graven Merchant Stones, they're currently in packs. In fact, EA released a lot of tradable packs recently, hence why these cards are down. So we're not going to look to trade those, right? This is all about fluctuation trading. And fluctuation trading is buying cards that are at a steady price but fluctuate up and down. These cards are not at a steady price. They might just be going down because they're in packs right now. But a card like Great to the Game Carlos Puyol could be a great example. If we go on the 3-day graph, as you can see, he has low points and high points. He hit 48,000 coins. He loaded 43,000 coins. And right now, today, he's back down towards 40,000 coins. So if we could buy one of these at 40 or 39 at this low point down here and then try and sell it at 48,000 coins, that could be fantastic there. Now, here's the tips when you're doing this, right? If you want to do this as best as possible or if you're new at this, buy at least 3 cards for your budget. Do not just spend all of your budget, like for me, 380,000 coins on one card because you just might get, the wrong card if you're new at this and that's crap. Number 2 is only buy one of each card. I have 2 Tim Howards here, but they were bought over the course of several hours. They weren't bought at the same time. Basically, like the same with Jill Scott's, by the way. So if you buy the same card over and over again, like say you bought 2 Yates, it may as well just buy one card for all your budget. It's the same thing where you're putting all your eggs in one basket, and if that basket crumbles, then bad stuff happens. But number 3, the main one, get in the free Discord down below. It's free, right? There's no payment for it yet. It might be next year, but right now it's completely free. There's guides on fluctuation trading. You can ask as many questions as you want, and if you're really not understanding something, you can just ask us. You can ask me if you want, ask me, and I can try and answer your questions. So get in the free Discord. That should be the best method right now on a low budget, stage 3, to make coins fluctuation trading. However, we said before, we're not finished yet. Just before we go to stage 4, the whole point of stage 3 was to keep coins flowing. If you remember before, we said keep coins flowing. That's how we get 1 million coins in a few hours, not a few days or a few weeks. So all we mean by that is, let's say, it's hard to picture this, but let's say we've just gone and bought all those fluctuation cards, like Puyol at 40,000 coins, Tim Howard at 30,000 coins. We've gone and bought all of them. Maybe we bought 5, 10 different cards, and we're listing them back on the market, right? You list them every single hour, and then when you go to sleep, you list them for 6 hours until you wake up, even on your phone, on Companion app, right? You want to always be listing those cards. Let's say I've just listed them all, but imagine we're not on 400,000 coins anymore. We're back down to like 10 or 20,000 coins because we spent it all on really expensive cards, and none of them are selling, right? For example, I've got this Douglas Luiz. He's not selling. I've listed him at 4 hours because I'm about to go to sleep after I record this video. So he's not selling. Let's say I've got all my coins spent. We go back to doing the method from before. So you'd go back to buying anchors or back to bidding on fodder. And what this means is you would turn that 20,000 coins you have left into 40,000 coins or 50,000 coins or 60,000 coins. And then also maybe like Douglas Luiz sells or a different card sells. You're on 100,000 coins. And then when you get back to 100, 150,000 coins doing that, you can go and buy some more of the special promo cards, get back down to 20,000 coins and repeat the cycle. And trust me, it doesn't feel like it adds up. But do that for a few hours or especially a few days and you'll be on more coins than you realize. Because when everything sells, after all your anchor sell or your fodder sells or your special card sells, you think you're on 300,000 coins, everything sells and you're on 600,000 coins, and it is just the best feeling ever. It happens all the time. Which stage number 4, the baller phase, how I got to 30 million coins. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. And the way that I would get to 1 million coins, right? This is the sort of 500,000 to 1 million coins and beyond. And it's what I recommend every single person doing right now because it's so easy. Now, we're going to split it into 3 different things. Let's say we've got 500,000 coins. How do we split our coins? How do we split our time? So we're just making coins and not spending ages. Now, number 1, the new bit for this section is lazy selling. I love lazy selling. I talk about lazy selling more than I talk about my girlfriend Taylor, and we've been together for like 6 years. Now, again, in the Discord, completely free, Toby has put this overpriced selling list, which is a bunch of cards you can use to overprice sell if you don't already have some already. But basically, and people don't believe me when I say this, overpriced selling is just listing cards for more than what they sell for. Lazy people buy them, hence the name lazy selling. So you buy a card for 1,000, sell it for 2,000, someone buys it, and you make 1,000 coins. It's brilliant. It is so brilliant. But why are we doing it now? Because now we finally got coins. And to do lazy selling, you need to do it en masse. The first cards we can lazy sell are fodder, right? Let's say we have 89 rated cards here. As you can see, they don't all sell for the same price. Some sell for 2.5, some sell for 2.3. Basically, let's say all 89s sold for 2,000 coins, right? People will buy them all the way up to 3,000 or 4,000 coins, more close to 3 and 2.8, 2.7. And the reason they do that is because they can't be bothered to go and find the cheapest price. So when they go and find 89 Allison, they might not know whether he's 2.3 or 2.1. They'll quickly put the price down to 2.3 and just buy the first one they see. All that means for you is, when we're doing fodder bids from before, you can go and sink, let's say, I'm going to say about 50% of your budget. 50% of your budget can go into lazy selling because it makes coins for you in the background. So, for example, the fodder bids from before, we'd go put gold rares in and put that same filter in that we used. And now we can go and bid on 88s, 89s, 90s, whatever it is, and not list them for their regular price. When we win 50 cards, we go and list them for 500 to 1,000 coins more expensive than what they sell for. And eventually, you have to keep relisting them. They all will sell. And when a couple of cards sell, buy new ones and rinse and repeat it. And it'll make you every single hour, maybe let's say 10 or 15 or 20 get bought. It makes you like an extra 20, 30k an hour for doing basically no extra work. It's that broken. But where this really gets broken is when you do it on special cards. Now, this is what we all want to get to. You need a higher budget from this, but if you followed this video up until this point, you'll get a higher budget, no problem. Cards like this Cafu, and specifically the Great to the Game one, who I believe is about 35,000 coins, or is he 40,000 coins? He might be 45. I have no idea what it is. But here's where it gets broken. Now, yes, for this bit here, you do need a lot more coins. However, if you followed the video up until this point, you'll get a lot more coins, no problem. But this is where it starts to get a little bit broken, right? We're going to start lazy selling promo cards that are cheap, but still very usable. For example, Great to the Game, Alessandro Del Piero. If we go check this guy's price, he is about 33,000 coins. However, he will sell for a lot more than that, because basically, he's very usable. So we're only looking at cards here that are super usable, but still super cheap. Like, we're talking below 50,000 coins. Basically, what you are going to go and do is buy one of each of these cards that you find. Again, there's a full list in the Discord if you want to use that one, but you can easily go and find them yourself, right? Go and buy one of each of these cards that are super usable, but below 50,000 coins. Buy them at the regular price, so Del Piero's 34,000 coins. If you can even, get a bid on them or snipe on them for a little bit cheaper, maybe 31 or 32,000 coins. But get a Del Piero and list him for about 10 to 15% more than what he sells for. It's as simple as that. He sells for 35,000 coins, so list him at about 40 or 41, 42,000 coins. And if he sells, you make 5,000 coins profit for doing nothing. Now, the big tip with this is, do not buy more of one card. I wouldn't go, unless you get a fantastic card. Let's say Del Piero lazy sells incredibly well. Normally, a card lazy sells well when there's so much demand for them, because so many people are just buying that card. So maybe you find some great ones. But in general rule, buy no more than one or maybe one or two of each card and then move on to the next one. And that way, again, you don't put all your eggs in one basket. If that card crashes down in price and say Del Piero went to 28,000 coins, you don't lose all your coins because of, a silly decision where you bought all the same card. Another example is Chiellini. He is still a fantastic centre-back on this game. And even better, he fits Evo. So when you're lazy selling a card that fits Evos, if a new Evo comes out for them and it's a brilliant Evo, they can go up in price anyway. But I'd go and buy two Del Pieros, go and buy two Chiellinis at, decent prices. Lazy sell one of the Chiellinis at 25k, one of them at 27k, staggering prices like we said before. Do the same with Del Piero. Get a full transfer list until you've spent 50% of your coins. And then once you've spent 50% of your coins on lazy selling and getting a little list of cards there ready, then we can move on to doing fluctuations and other things. Now, I will show you one new method that can just be absolutely broken. We're talking like 50 to 100,000 coins per card you buy because it's that broken. But the next thing you would do at this budget, right, the really high budget, is you put 50% of your coins on lazies. You can still go and do fluctuation trades with the other 50%. And the reason this works so well is 50% of your coins are making passive money in the background, and the other 50% you're doing active trades on. They keep selling, like it like multiplies. Like the more you do it, you sell cards on lazies every hour. You get a couple decent flips on this fluctuation page, like we spoke about before, every single hour. And before you know it, you're making 100 or 200,000 coins an hour because it adds together really fast. And think about it, the more coins you've got, the more cards you can buy for lazies, the more expensive cards you can buy for fluctuations, and it gets even faster. That's how people get to 10, 20, 30, 40 million coins on this game. It's not like they're cheating or doing anything, right? It just stacks up. It's like a snowball effect. It gets really big really quick. But the other one, the broken method that I will tell you guys about, because recently there has been what we call bid bots on it. But let me explain to you special card bidding. Special card bidding is where we look at cards on open bid, special cards, promo cards that basically people have forgotten about. And I've said basically so much in this video. Now that I think about it, right? Ignore that. But yeah, cards that people have been bidding on, but people have hopefully forgotten about, and you can win some crazy deals. Now, the way you set this filter up, you can do what I call the 10, 20, 30 method, where you put 10, 20, 30,000 coins in. And that is the first method you can do. The reason this works is you get cards that are special cards. That to be honest, you don't even need 10,000 coins if you've got a special card filter in. But you get cards that are going for bid because their maximum bid price is 20,000 coins, but they sell for at least 30,000 coins. So it's a card listed on open bid. Like this Fabian Ruiz here, right? He's listed at buy now 100k, but he's listed on open bid. That's all this filter does. You can mess around with the numbers so much as long as it finds cards on open bids. For example, if you were super balling, you could put 200,000 coins. You could put 300,000 coins in, and this will find cards on open bid that sell for more than 300,000 coins. As you can see here, Rivellino open bid, Kante open bid, Rashford open bid, Stam open bid. It'll find you cards on open bid that sell for way more than 300,000 coins, or sometimes up to 300,000 coins, and it doesn't really matter. You can do this on any budget with any filter. What you are looking for, though, the reason this works so well, is you're looking for cards like this Yap Stam that are quite old, forgotten about, but still have some brilliant value. So, for example, Kuhl is another great one. Vieira is another great one if he's more than 196,000 coins, which I'm not sure he is. But we'll take a look at those 3 cards in particular and why they can be so broken. Just checking now, Yap Stam is 300,000 coins and Kuhl is about 700,000 coins. Vieira is not really one to look at, right? But both of these cards sell for way more than what their current open bids in. And as you can see, they've gone down to the last 30 seconds on this Kuhl at 39,000 coins. Now, can I just say with this method, you win like literally 1 in like 30 or 1 in 20 cards you go for. You do not win many cards at all. But if you did win a card like Kuhl, you can make upwards of 200,000 coins profit on 1 card, which I just think is silly. Look, I can go and bid 39,000 coins on this Kuhl card. If we do win him, that would be like 600,000 coins profit. Will we win him for that price? No, not at all. But you can do the same with Yap Stam there. This Yap Stam sells for about, I think it's 340,000 coins. So you can probably bid all the way up to 300,000 coins. And if you do win it, it's nearly 40,000 coins profit. So this card, where it's like, is a crazy filter. But just know, you do not win a lot of the cards on this filter because of what I mentioned before, bid bots. There is such a thing as bid bots, where bots will bid last minute on these cards, or sorry, last second every single time on these cards to stop you winning them. If you notice that you're getting outbid on a card, but it's always happening at the last second, it's such a thing known as a bid bot, where people have set bots up to, bid on them, whatever, right? You can kind of get the point. But just know that is a thing that happens. However, they're not on every card, they're not on every filter, they're not on, all times of the day. So it's a little bit of a, pot luck thing. But I have won cards on this for 50,000 coins profit on the low budget, and upwards of 200,000 coins profit on the high budget. It's all about finding the right cards and doing it at the right time. Look for rare cards, look for cards that are expensive, and mess around with the filters until you find something that works. But boys, I hope this video did help. If it did, leave a like, hype, whatever just helps push the video out. I would really appreciate it. But yeah, and also subscribe if you are new, of course, I've got to say that. But yeah, no, I really do appreciate it, boys. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week as you are watching this, and I will see you all in a bizzle.